He's won an English title, also been a prize fighter champion, now trying to move towards the British crown.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we go with 12 3-minute rounds of boxing. Our final eliminator for the British light welterweight title. Our three scoring judges at the ringside are from Kent, Mr. Richard Davis, from Doncaster, Mr. Howard Foster, from Fleetwood, Mr. Steve Ray. Thank you, Mr. Colin Roberts from Halifax, and the referee in charge from Preston. Once again, Mr. Phil Edwards. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, firstly, in the red corner, wearing the white shorts with red, black and blue. He weighed in a nice 13 pounds, comes to the ring 14 wins, 14 contests, 13 wins, 10 wins inside the distance, only 1 defeat. From Alfreton in Derbyshire, please welcome Adil Anwar. Across the ring in the blue corner, wearing red and white shorts with blue trim. We're going to take score even. Coming to the ring, 18 contests, 17 wins, 7 wins inside the scheduled distance, only 1 defeat. He is the former English welterweight champion from Leeds, Yorkshire, the Platinum Kid, Adil Anwar.
So Phil Edwards poised to give final instructions to the two fighters.
Before my instructions, and that's very good, great, cleanly take a step back, watch your head into those, defend yourselves at all times, with the kilo.
Well, Anwar, a real slippery customer, only the 1 defeat on his record earlier on in his career against Graham Higginson. Had some good wins since then. Dale Miles also with the 1 defeat, which was against Tyrone Nurse, the Halifax fighter in Prize Fighter back in February, and that was on cuts. So this has the makings.
I remember that cut as well, John, from Dale Miles. It was a really, really bad one, and I think he had the scheduled fight with Curtis Woodhouse, which you knew straight away once the cut happened, the fight wasn't going to happen straight away. It was a really bad cut, and it'll be interesting to see if that holds up tonight.
Anwar comes into this after a win against Derby's Dave Rocky Ryan back in May. Platinum Kid, he calls himself. And he's starting to get a bit of a following round Leeds way. Not a big one-punch knockout guy, but he has got stoppage wins against the likes of Johnny Greaves, Michael Frontin, and he started well here.
He has, it's good stuff, good, sharp, flashy stuff, and he's landed and he's finding the target on Miles. Miles is a tough kid and durable, but he's going to need to be, because these shots from the angles, what you don't see, they're the ones that tend to disorientate you along. He's landed with a few as Anwar.
Trained by Mark Bateson. The people watching the way he fights think that he's an Ingle fighter. Not so, though. That's handy.
Nice.
Oh, I love the way he slipped that one and delivered that right hand.
Nice work, really nice work. A lot of people, myself included in the past, just make the mistake of assuming, and you think Anwar's just an awkward kid. He's flashy and he lands some nice shots when he wants to.
Used to be that lad Nadeem Sadiq a year or two ago back in Bradford, who was a great showman, but he never quite cracked it through to the highest level. Anwar might have just a little bit more, I don't know. Time will tell. Got to get past Miles first. He's landed some good flashy shots in this opening round, Anwar, but Miles hasn't been wobbled or anything as yet. Has cut in other fights as well. You mentioned that fight that he had. He's cut on other fights as well. I hope that's not going to be a factor.
You don't want it to be for his sake. The prize fighter one just really stuck out in my mind. It was a really bad cut. I remember seeing it, and it's one of those where you're wincing at the telly when you're looking at it. He's struggling here, Miles, and he needs to just try and find his feet in his fight, because Anwar's just too flash, too fast, and beating him to the punch with quality shots as well, what Miles isn't seeing.
Hard to tag, isn't he? It's inviting with those gloves down.
It is, and what I like about him is he's finishing on the jab after the exchanges. He's throwing a nice jab out to just sort of keep his distance away and keep Miles at bay, which is good to see, because a lot of kids just seem to finish on the big shot that they throw and then switch off. He's finishing on a jab and he's getting back to basics again.
Dale Miles has got some problems here.
Just marching, you've got to have the headroom. You don't want to be like this for 3 or 4 rounds.
Heavy-handed, he's just not been able to find the target really so far. He's had to absorb a fair few of those.
That's a nice shot there. Nice slip out the way and then come right round the side with a nice fast shot right on the chin. And you say yourself, you said it yourself, he's not really a big one-punch fighter, because if he was, that could have been curtains.
His dad's got a takeaway shop up in Leeds, and it's called Adil's Takeaway. There you go, if you're ever around Headingley Way. Anwar took the English title in 8 rounds against James Flynn. Took that with only 5 days' notice, that particular contest. People started to take notice. Oh, lovely right hand. Really good sharp punch. But he's got to sustain it. It's the long distance. Nothing flashy about Dale Miles. It's a real contrast in styles.
It is, it's total opposite styles. Miles has just got to make sure that he doesn't follow Anwar around the ring like he's doing now. He's just take a little step to the side now and then to try and cut him off, and don't follow him and waste your own energy. Step to the side more, cut him off and try and make Anwar work harder than he needs to.
Anwar content to move around, try and fight off the back foot, catch his man as he comes in. That's good. Miles just starting to get into range for the first time in the closing stages of this second round, and will perhaps take a bit more heart from that.
It's not too bad for Miles. He's got to be prepared to sacrifice probably 1 or 2 or 3 of the early rounds, but make Anwar work harder than he needs to moving around the ring. Keep cutting him off, keep making him move, and keep making him work to come into the fight. It's a 12 rounder, it's a long time, and he may catch up.
He's a good amateur, Adil Anwar, junior ABA champion. Claims to have won 58 of 68, which is a good ratio. Turned pro after, I think, 14 months out to a really bad car smash back in 2005. Car turned over and he broke his collarbone, suffered cracked ribs as well. Came back after 14 months out, and he's made a pretty good fist of the pro game. So 2 rounds gone of this 12-rounder, and Dale Miles was just starting to get into range more in the closing stages of that second round. And he'll be fancying his chances more maybe than he was after the first 3 minutes, Paul.
Yeah, you're right, John. He just started edging in towards the end. He still lost the round, and Anwar still did the better work, but Miles has got to be prepared to probably lose 1 or 2 just to take the sting out of Anwar and keep making him work hard, keep trying to land your big shots yourself, but just keep Anwar busy and try and tire him out and take the sting out of his legs and his shots as well.
He's certainly got an energy-sapping sort of style, hasn't he, Anwar? If he's going to maintain this for 12 rounds, it's going to take some doing. And this was in the closing stages of that second when Miles had more success. This is a 12-rounder, eliminator for the British light welterweight title, and into the third. Anwar clearly taking the opening round, but the second very much closer.
It was, yeah. I still thought Anwar took the second, but you're right, it was a lot closer, and Miles started edging into it towards the end. He's just got to keep doing more of the same, keep stalking Anwar, keep making him work, keep pushing him back and pressuring him, but cut the ring off as well. Don't let him be comfortable on them ropes. Keep him working hard and take the sting out of him.
Southpaw Dale Miles works in a furniture shop when he's not boxing. Anwar does this full time. The eldest of 9 kids, Anwar. Bigger family than the Smiths.
I was just going to say that. I don't envy him. I'm the oldest of 6, and that's hard enough.
It's worrying me getting on my wavelength. Or vice versa. Anwar's landed plenty of shots, but he's not really made much of a dent in Miles so far.
It could be his downfall, because Miles is going to keep coming forward and keep stalking and keep trying to pin Anwar down to land the shot, and if he's not getting deterred by stiff power shots and good power shots, he's just going to keep coming forward.
Yeah, Dale can hit as well. He beat Christian Late in 2 rounds, and he did him with body shots, and he's one of those who's got stickability.
Yeah, he is. He's a tough kid. He had the win as well. I was reading the other day in the boxing news. He had the win in his last fight as well. He is a tough lad, and he will just keep, as you say, stickability. He will stay in there. See the jaw dropping now from Anwar. You see the mouth opening a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know, maybe showing a little few signs that Miles is starting to get to him.
We're only in the third, long way to go. A little message from Enzo Macronelli, who's watching back home with Box Nation. He's saying he and his wife Eloise are running a half marathon tomorrow for his son Romeo's autistic charity. He got diagnosed with that on the night of his fight against Shane McPhilbin.
Yeah, I just spoke to Enzo before over the same thing. I got the text, and it's great to see that. My youngest sister Holly, she's autistic as well, and I had to chat with Enzo around about the time and asked him about what was happening with the diagnosis and everything else. And it's so hard to diagnose at first, and it's an illness which is pretty relatively unknown and misunderstood. And my brothers all box with autism on the back of the shorts. I used to do it myself in the amateurs and when I first turned pro, and just to try and raise a little bit of awareness. So it's great that Enzo's actually doing something like this and running a marathon or half marathon with his wife for autism, because we need to get more people interested and to know what the illness is about.
Absolutely, Paul. And Enzo in preparation for what looks like a fascinating contest shortly against Oville Mackenzie. This now moves into the 4th round, and I noticed between rounds there's a little mouse opening up underneath the left eye of Dale Miles. It's not affecting his vision as yet, but I said that he hadn't been marked up by the shots of Anwar. I was wrong there. He is starting to bear a few marks. See that left eye, it's worsening.
The heads have come really close a few times as well, John. You know, Southpaw orthodox, typical of what's going to be happening when Anwar lunges in with those hooks as well. Miles is trying to get on the inside, and the heads will come close.
Bit of blood as well coming from Miles' nose now. Anwar's boxing nicely.
He is, and it's also better stuff from Miles. He's getting a bit closer in range. He's letting a few shots go, and a few of them are landing. He's defending a lot better. It is shaping up nice.
You scored all three to Anwar so far?
I have so far, yeah. I think Miles is progressing into the fight, and he's slowly edging his way into it. But I've gave them to Anwar so far.
Referee Phil Edwards has not had a great deal to do so far. Pattern remains the same. Anwar skipping around and trying to throw those shots from range, creating the angles. So much favoured by his hero Nazim Hamed in years gone by. He's not quite got the power, he hasn't got the legs of Naz, has he?
No, Naz was a freak of nature, and the punch power he had for the featherweight, someone just so exciting and explosive and devastatingly hard puncher.
That's a good shot. Good shot from Miles, first time.
I think they both landed simultaneously there as well when he threw the shots, but Miles come out the better of the exchange. He had the last say in the exchange as well, but to his confidence a world of good.
I hope that eye is not going to be a factor. It seems that the swelling is getting a little bit worse. They'll have to work on it between rounds.
Miles is throwing nice jabs to the body as well with someone like Anwar. When he's moving on the ropes and he's trying to get out the way of the shots, the body still stays there, and he's stabbing down to the body. Nice, Miles.
Tell you what, after the main event, there is a decent crowd who've stayed on here. Still, at least, I would have thought, just looking around, there must be at least 3,000 people in here still, maybe more. Miles fans are getting behind him, and for the first time almost, he's able to take the sap out of Anwar's legs and to land with some punishing shots to the body.
In between as well, in the middle of the round, the beginning, Anwar came out as usual, flashy self, landing the good shots, the better shots, and beating Miles to the punch. But I thought Miles edged himself back into that, and just looking at that eye, what you pointed out, Johnny, you really need to get that end swell on there and keep that on and work on it.
Mike Chinfield, very experienced cornerman, working away on that one. You just got the sense for the first time there, that's the closing stages of the round, that Miles was just starting to get to Anwar. Whether he did enough to win the round, how did he score that one? It was a close one.
It was close. I'd probably shade towards Miles, to be fair.
So that's 3-1 on our cards. Anwar ahead, with the fight very much a live prospect.
This will be an interesting round now, John, to see who can capitalise on the last little exchange at the start. You know, Miles may feel like he's won his first round, and if he can come out and take this one, it swings the momentum into his favour.
Anwar doesn't have the power, it would seem, to make him really back up. He's not really taking the backward step, has he?
No, he hasn't. Miles is doing well, as I say. He's making Anwar work, but he's also working himself by not just stepping to the side a bit. He seems to be following Anwar just a little bit too much.
It's good from Anwar, lovely left hand. And the right. Naturally athletic, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and he looks like he's in good shape as well. Whether the stamina will hold out for the full 12 at this pace, who knows, but he looks in good shape. He looks toned, he looks fit, and he's ready to go.
Well, Miles hasn't been able to find the target so far in this round. An exercise in frustration for him. And punching thin air again and again.
Yeah, man. First half of the round has gone to Anwar without any real problems. He's on the back foot, and he's comfortable on the back foot. He's wasting a lot of energy doing it, but if that's the way he fights, that's the way he fights.
You can keep this up for 12 rounds, jigging around the ring. I only assume he's a bit of a monster for the road work.
Be interesting to see if he does it. If he does it for 12 rounds at this pace, I will be surprised, but you never know.
Now Miles, can he power on and get some pressure on in the last minute? Anwar making him miss again and again. Oh, that's quality.
It's nice work.
Using the ropes beautifully and delivering a left hand and a right hand, which found the scoring target.
Nice little body shot got in from Miles in that exchange, but it's the only real thing that you can talk about in his favour in this round. Anwar's stole the round well. He's come out after a good finish from the previous round from Miles, and he's stamped his authority on the fight again.
Yeah, he's bossed this one, no question. Maybe a couple of shots just getting through from Miles, and again one in the closing seconds of the round to the body, but nothing of note. Anwar's round, and Anwar's round by a distance.
Yeah? So, good. Deep breath, all right, yeah? You don't just keep doing what you're doing, it's just frustrating. You don't even want to fall, right? You're going to have to make him fall. Yeah? You know when you're flinging with him, don't just fling with him. Do it clever. Do it clever, make him make a mistake. Because when he's flinging, he likes to stand off doors and stuff. But when he's flinging, that's when you can hit him, but you've got to keep it tight. You've got to make him fling, but you've got to keep tight. Get the gum shoot. Yeah?
All very well saying he doesn't want to fight, but the closer analysis of it might be that he's able at this stage to fight his fight.
He's fighting well and he's controlling it on the back foot, especially that last round. You know, it's up to Miles to make the fight, but every time he tries to get close to Anwar, he's moving out the side door all the time, and he's using his footwork to his advantage.
He's a slippery customer, isn't he? Difficult to tie down. Good footwork, and you've got to have good reactions to fight like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is what won him the prize fight at the time. You know, just no one could get near him. By the time you figure him out, the fight went over. But this is a different kettle of fish in a 12-round fight. 6 are gone. You know, it's how Miles is able to catch up with him, and if he can catch up with him, because by the looks of it, Anwar can do this all night.
Tyrone Nurse, wasn't it? Chris Aston's lad who he beat in the final.
Yeah, it was, and Tyrone's a good kid as well, well-schooled, nice boxer, nice tidy boxer, but again, it's just getting to grips with Anwar's style, which is the problem.
He's a good fighter, Tyrone, and he's looking for some bigger days, and good luck to him. Hope they come his way. Again, just punching thin air. It's frustrating. Yet on a night like this, where you're in with somebody who's dancing around like this.
Yeah, very much, and you know, it felt like that when I was in with James DeGale, the way he was just so hard to pin down and land with clean shots. But you know, that's a different story. Someone like Anwar, who is completely like that, who literally won't stand and trade with you, but he'll just try and pick you off all the time as you're coming in. It's a nightmare for fighters, and Miles, for me, just needs to target Anwar's body. You know, the head's moving a lot, the reactions are good with the head, but the body is a lot harder to move, and just jabs and straight shots to the body. Try and target the body as he's coming out, because the lateral movement from Anwar is causing Miles a lot of problems as well. He's slipping shots nicely and then landing good counters like that.
He wants him to stand and trade, but he will have none of it. Chants of Dale, Dale from Miles. Supporters from Alfreton who've made the journey up here. He's not landing enough. Another round slips away, maybe.
Yeah, I think it did. I had to give that to Anwar, but I think he's starting to look a little bit tired now. The head's dropping in the corner, you know, he's breathing. There's a few times when he stepped off the ropes there where he just sagged just a little bit. If Miles has got it in the tank and he's got the engine to step it up, and he could really make a fight of this.
The worry is, in the other corner, whether or not Miles is getting busted up too much, though. The eye is worsening, bleeding from the nose. Not affecting his vision as yet. As I said earlier, Mike Shinfield there, father and son combination in the corner, very, very experienced. He's done a good job controlling that swelling, just trying to keep his spirits up.
Yeah, they've got to, but you know, as you say, they're an experienced team and they're very good trainers, but they must know that Anwar will be feeling his pace, and surely he can't do that for 12 rounds. He's dancing really, you know. He's literally circling the ring as much as he can. He won't take the centre of the ring, and he won't stay still. It's only a matter of time before he tires, and I think he's starting to show little signs of tiring now, but he's still getting the better of the rounds for me.
Second half of the fight on Paul's card. 5-1, yes?
Yeah, I've had to, yeah. I just haven't seen an argument for Dale for any more rounds than the one that I thought he won.
But he's still in there, and you can still see he's still coming forward with intent, and just find a way of cutting this man down and taking the spring out of his stride, cutting off the ring.
Yeah, he's got to just don't make the mistake of following him yourself, because you're using your own energy up as well. Cut him off, take the side steps, take a little step back and then step to your right when he's moving to his left. Take a little step back and move to the left. Don't follow him, because that's what he wants you to do, and that's what Miles, unfortunately for him, is doing. He's following him around the ring.
There's a good left hand from Miles. And momentarily, Anwar just stopped moving. That's what Miles needs more of. Doesn't need to be eating jabs.
No, and you feel for Miles, he's trying his best to ask Anwar to stop and fight him, you know, and Anwar's just going to keep doing his own, like, why should he stop and stand and play you at your game? You know, he wants to keep moving, messing you around, catching you with jabs and break you down. That's what Miles needs to do, John. He needs to just target the body and make the ring as small a place as he can for Anwar. Cut him off. Don't let him get out the side door and the back door here and there. You've got to, that's better way of cutting him off, but now target the body while he's there. The body isn't moving.
Managed to get in with a couple of right hooks. Anwar does have that look of somebody who's tiring, doesn't he, with the mouth hanging open, but he just keeps going.
There's a better way from Miles cutting the ring off. He's cutting it off nicely now, and just try and target the body while he's there. He's landing.
Going to work.
He's landing now, and he's getting home as well. He's just got to keep cutting it off and make that ring as small a place as he can for Anwar, not let him off the side, which he's doing well now.
The gap is starting to narrow between the two. He's starting to get into range more now, Dale Miles. And here's an example. Good body shots. And the shot to the head.
This is better way from Miles.
Wink from Miles in the closing seconds. He was starting to find the target, and he knows that he is getting into this fight.
Good round from him, John. He needed that. He really needed to take that round and take it well.
That's the left hand which got through.
Even when Anwar was starting to answer back then in that exchange, Miles would still come out on top in the exchange. He'd have the final say every time. He's always getting the final last punch in and having the final say at the exchange.
Not getting away quite as easily, was he there, Anwar? And that wink from Dale Miles on the bell kind of spoke volumes, didn't it?
Yep, it did. You know, there's the first round in the bag of the second half of the fight where Miles could win this. This is Miles' fight to take over now. He's got to really go for it though and take as many rounds in the latter half of the fight that he can, while Anwar's going to get tired.
5-2 in favour of Adil Anwar on Paul Smith's card. Just pecking with that jab, but it's not making Miles take a backward step. Now it does. You can just see written all over this contest that Miles would love to get this into a tear-up situation.
Yeah. He's trying his best, isn't he? He's patting his chest, calling Anwar on.
Anwar, quite rightly though, sticking to the game plan that's served him so well in his career so far. Anwar is planting his feet a little bit more than earlier in the fight, having to, and that's Miles who's starting to find the target, 2 to the jaw. Here he goes again. I think Miles fancies his chances of finding that one big shot, you know.
Yeah, but he's going for it. He's doing the right thing to keep the combinations going. No, he can't look for the big one. I think it's there to do, but he's got to throw it in bunches as well. He's got to let combinations go, and it's just so hard to pin someone like Anwar down and actually try and throw 3 or 4 shots at him.
Coming on stronger in the closing stages of the round. Anwar holds his gloves out as much as to say, what was that about? I'm not hurt. But he did get through with a couple. More scoring shots from Miles. Well, how did he score that round? Interesting one.
It was a total round of 2 halves for me. Anwar dominated early, and literally from the 130 mark onwards, Miles came into it and took over. I think Miles is starting to find his way into the fight. I think Anwar come out and took the first part of the round well, but I think Miles come on and done a better work.
Not this way down. Come on, it's got working now. Keep working again. Come on. Wait that body.
There's not too much of a sense of panic there, is there? Still a few smiles and...
Yeah. He's talking to someone in the crowd now as well, Miles. He's leaning over and having a laugh at someone in the crowd whoever he was winking at earlier.
Not much in those punches of Anwar now. Switch hitting momentarily.
That's what we were saying earlier, John, wasn't we? You know, Miles needs to take the sting out of Anwar's shot, and with Anwar, because he's not necessarily a big puncher, the speed is everything for him, and speed is power, but once that goes as well, like we saw in the McPhilbin fight with Shane McPhilbin in the last 2 rounds, the speed had gone out of the shot and the power had gone as well. That's what seems to be the case now with Anwar. There's no real snap and real pop in the punches.
Shinfield corner will know, Jason and Mike, that their man is getting into it more. They were looking across and asking us between rounds there, how have we got it?
He wasn't too happy when we told him the real score. What we think, though, was he?
No, he didn't look ecstatic, did he? I think they thought they were winning. Perhaps they are.
It's all about opinions, isn't it? And that's what we're here for.
Well, he's not letting a lot go now, Miles. Needs to throw the punches when he gets into range like this. That's good.
That's the type of work he needs to be doing as well, John. Down to the body. The body's always there for Miles. If he goes for it, he will land.
Well, there's only one guy really trying to force the fight now, isn't there?
Yeah, and he's having more success now in the latter rounds, and Anwar's getting tired. Miles is landing shots. I'd like to see some straight backhands, straight left hands to the body of Anwar. He's going for the head, Miles, and he's missing a lot. You know, just bring them to the body. The body is there, and he's open for the straight shots to the body.
Anwar's not been able to punish him as much as he was earlier. Done a really good job in that corner on working on the facial injuries of Miles. More clubbing body shots from the Derbyshire man. That's a good shot, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's outworking him, isn't he, Johnny? He's wanting it a bit more than him, and he's forcing the fight, and he's taking the rounds now, and Anwar's only going to get more tired here.
Well, on your card, Paul, given that one to Miles, have you?
Yeah, 5-4.
5-4. 5 rounds to 4. Miles is right back in it.
Isn't it a good job it is 12 and not the 10 we thought at the start?
Penny for the thoughts of Howard Foster, of Richie Davis, and of Steve Gray. How they've got it.
That's the thing, John. We'll always be in different sides of the ring, score a different fight. You know, it's just opinion, and that's what makes boxing and what breaks boxing sometimes as well.
There's only one guy here really trying to fight, isn't there, at this stage of the contest? So
yeah, there is. And to be fair to Anwar, though, he did put a lot of work in the first rounds, didn't he, John? And he looked very good in the first opening few rounds.
So now to the 10th. This fight, unquestionably, is getting closer the further it goes. And Anwar needs to do something to turn the tide, which has gone very much in the Derbyshire man's way since this second half. And he looks as though he's getting into slightly anxious territory.
Yeah, good work from Miles there. Anwar was calling Miles on, and Miles happily obliged and let a big overhand left hand go backhand and landed right on the chin.
He's the puncher in there, Miles, no question about it. Well, that's good, that's quality.
Good work.
He was a bit of a goalkeeper for those. Flurry of punches from Anwar.
Miles just gives a little smirk and comes in and calls him on again. He loves it, doesn't he?
2 more. Anwar's put his best spell together for some time. Needed to, didn't he?
Yep, he did. It's like a little second wind's kicked in for him, and he's landed some sharper shots. They've been a bit snappier, and he found the target just when he needed to, as you say, John.
Miles just keeps on coming, keeps chugging forward. 10th round. 12th round of this, an eliminator for the British title at light welter. There's another good left hand from Miles. Anwar bossed the early stages of this round. Miles coming back into it now. Maybe.
Difficult round to score so far, and being a case of tale of two sides. Anwar just seems really tired. He's just trying his best to stay away as much as he can and pepper Miles as he's coming in, but Miles is having a lot more success when he goes to the body. He just isn't doing it as much this round.
Now he's got him where he wants him. Can he find the clean shots? Not really.
As you said before, John, Phil Edwards doesn't have to do a thing, has he?
No, he hasn't.
The only thing he's had to do is to tell them both to shut up and stop talking in there because they're calling each other on.
Nice shot again from Miles. Anwar was off balance, and Miles finishing the round strongly. Good exchange, very good exchange.
Good round. I'm going to give that one to Anwar, John. I think he just done a bit better quality work on the inside. Miles kept coming on strong, but he had a very good start and was landing the more eye-catching shots on the just snapping in. Miles was getting the better of the exchanges, but from the distance, Anwar was coming in with eye-catching shots and classy shots like those.
At times, it's been a very good fight to watch, this one.
It has, you're right.
Sometimes you get the sort of the clash of styles, particularly when there's a southpaw involved, and it doesn't really work out. But this time, it's one which has.
I like that in the last round from Anwar as well. He took a stiff shot, bit down on his gum shield, little grimace of his face, and then come back and had another goal. And it was nice to see that side.
Whatever you say about Adil Anwar, you can say one thing for certain: he is a very, very fit guy. Keep the footwork going that he has through the fight. Deserves credit for it. But Miles still is looking for the punches which he thinks might turn this one and claim this. Anwar beats him to the punch again.
Good way.
1, 2, 3, 4 punches, all from Anwar, and 2 more. That's quality.
Good stuff.
And he made Miles give ground. He's putting him on the back foot.
Yeah, showing a lot of heart as well, John, as we were saying in the last round. It's nice to see.
Miles is having to absorb plenty here now. Bruising above the eye now, under the eyebrow, Miles. Anwar looks pretty much unmarked.
Showed really good evasive skills in the corner there as well, Anwar. Just dipping under 1 or 2 shots and then getting off the side door. He's boxing really well this round.
Encouragement being shouted from the Miles corner, but he got in with a couple of body shots there. It's after Anwar has landed a great many. To his credit, he's on the front foot, Miles, for the most part, and keeps coming on. Good shot, good uppercut from Anwar. Nice right hand.
Anwar's really impressed me this round. He's come out, he's bit down on the gum shield, he's really dug in and landed and tried to stand with Miles sometimes as well.
Well, as you say, he's found a second win from somewhere, hasn't he? I think probably 3 rounds slipped away from Anwar on the spin. Miles looked as though he was getting right back into it. But Anwar now seems to have found a little bit more. Arms have got to be heavy now.
Good stuff.
Right, who's going to provide the grandstand finish to this penultimate round? Anwar still, for me, throwing more punches, landing more. A lot of those being taken on gloves. That's quality. Lovely switch from body to head.
Good stuff, you know, just when you think he's done and he's being caught and he wants to relax and hold, he comes back with a nice little footy like that and a little wink to him as well.
Yep, I think he's accelerated away. I think at one stage the fight was in the balance. It looks to me as though Adil Anwar now is going to get the win that he wants.
I was impressed with him that round, John, and the things you pointed out he was doing, you know, really having a good goal, really good evasive skills, and then when he had to bite down and dig in and really get involved in the exchange with Miles, he did so, and he happily obliged, and impressed with him that round.
Well, we've got it 7 rounds to 4 in Anwar's favour.
Right, you couldn't do any more than what you've done. Right, but you've got to go for it. Yeah? Come on then. All or nothing. Yeah?
Well, I think they know. I think they know.
Yeah, what he said to him before was, I don't think you can do any more than you have done, and it's right. Miles has put a great effort in. It's just that he could have done a little bit better with the cutting off and trying to catch him with a few more body shots. But he gave everything he's got. He's a game kid, a brave kid, and this is a very good fight. It's been entertaining to watch.
And fought in a very good spirit. The referee's been almost redundant. Oh! Left hand lands. No knockdown, though.
I didn't think it was myself. I think he just caught that advertising note by Howard Foster and then took a shot to the chest after he was on his way down.
But Miles will take heart. Oh, good shot from Anwar. Lovely shot, the left, which he brought up the beauty. Yeah, good last round this is going to be, Paul.
Yeah, it is, and Anwar's really impressive. He's answering back when he needs to answer back, and when you think Dale Miles is just getting on top, Anwar comes back with a flurry and that catches the eye again and turns it back into his favour.
Dale Miles is a tough guy, and if Anwar has got through him and gets the win, it is a good scalp.
It is, and it's been a very good fight to watch. It's been nice to sit here and watch two fighters, as you say, fought in very good spirit. The referee has had to do next to nothing in this fight, and the two of them have gave everything they've got, and they're still doing it now in the 12th round.
Yeah, quality contest. Very good matchup. Well, it's all or nothing. You heard what his corner said. Miles is trying to produce it. Needs that one bingo punch from somewhere. He's going for it. And the two of them are going toe-to-toe in this last round.
This is good stuff, isn't it, John? It's good to watch. Oh.
Well, what about this? Once upon a time, they'd have been throwing coins into the ring after this.
Yeah, Nobbins. Good stuff, this. This is good to watch.
What a brave man Dale Miles, keeps on coming. But Anwar, again, looks as though he's landing them all.
He is. I'm impressed with Anwar, what he's doing here. After 4 or 5, 6 rounds of the pace he set, we wrote him off fitness-wise. He's got some engine on him, he's kept going, and he's still digging in this round now.
Clash of heads, and I think that there's another cut opened on the forehead of Miles by the looks of it. Certainly blood coming from somewhere. Maybe a little bit around the hairline. Last few seconds of a stirring 12th round. Crowd have really been absorbed by this one. Hope you've enjoyed it at home as well. What a good fight. Now remember that.
Yeah, very good fight, very good to watch, and two very, very good. You know, what a work rate, what a pace in that fight. 12 rounds and the two of them going out for leather at the final bell there. That was great to watch.
Difficult to split that last round. How did you give it?
I couldn't split them. You've got to give it. If you're going to give it to anyone, you have to shade it. I'd probably shade it with Miles. I think he just put a bit more effort into it and a bit more punch volume.
Well, it narrows it, but not narrow enough. Anwar getting it on our card, working really hard, both of them throwing a lot of leather in those last 3 minutes.
Yeah, good work. Look at this. This is what you want to see. Just swinging, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, countering each other, just going for it and really going for it. And that's what you want from your fighters. If you're sending Dale Miles off the last round, tell him to go for it. He didn't let him down.
And Adil Anwar showed that he's more than just a fancy Dan, didn't he? He's got some real.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Spirit. I nearly used a word which should have been inappropriate,
yeah,
I guess,
no,
but you know where I'm coming from.
He's got the minerals to stand there with Dale Miles, who's a banger, who's a big puncher when he didn't need to in the last round, but he showed that he wasn't just a one-sick pony on the back foot, moving and circling and dancing and trying to catch him a flashy shot. He dug in and he had a good go and he showed a lot of art.
I think that 12th round, you've edged it to Miles. I think you could just as easily give it to Anwar.
Definitely.
So something like sort of between 4 and 2 to 4 point margin, something like that, but we reckon that Anwar has taken that. Let's find out what the result is. Our Master of Ceremonies, Craig Stephen, is poised to put us out of our misery.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you will agree this one was well worth the wait. Please, your appreciation, Bob Waters. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to our judges' scorecards. Judge Richie Davis sees the contest 117, 111. Judge Howard Foster 117, 112. And Judge Steve Gray 119, 111. All three judges in favour of the winner. Now mandatory challenger for the British light welterweight title from Leeds, the Platinum Kid, Adil Anwar.
119, 111 was a little bit harsh, I think, on Dale Miles. I think he produced a bit more than that. But no arguments with the margins by 6 and by 5. We had it a little bit closer than that, but Adil Anwar tonight boxed really well. Dale Miles gave it everything, but Anwar frustrated him and ultimately had just too much.